Transformers, Autobots, and Decepticons. Welcome back. We are here for one brand new video right before the Game Awards. Yes, we're going to take you back in time just a little bit, have some little jazz here and there, you know, dancing around, enjoying some good nostalgia, and then we're going to jump right back to Transformers Reactivate. How about that? So, one of the biggest things about a game is its storyline, gameplay mechanics, and of course, the replayability. Throughout my time playing Transformers multiplayer games, I have always loved the PvP aspect of the games. It is the stapled mode for the games and helps the continued support of the games as time goes on. First and foremost though, of course, I have always loved the story aspect. If the game doesn't have a good story, then I'm out. Like, bailed out, boys. Like, we're not going anywhere, right? And I just do not want to even touch it anymore, kind of thing. If it doesn't play good in the first few hours of the game, you're not going to take my interest anytime soon. You will lose my attention in the game a few hours in if it doesn't grab me right from the get-go. There are some games that draw you in right away, and I think that is exactly what Transformers Reactivate needs to do. I've been playing Transformers games since Transformers the movie game. It was the first movie tie-in for the Bayverse, and I really enjoyed it back then, especially how the official website was designed for the game. For those of you who do not remember, the website had some kind of Autobot versus Decepticon thing going on, and I think the simplified area of like how that website worked is you simply sign up as, are you a Decepticon or are you an Autobot? And as people signed up for the website, you saw this meter constantly battling back and forth to see which side would actually win. I'm pretty sure the Decepticons did win on that. I can't really remember. It's been so long, but it was a really cool mechanic. Regardless, just seeing that percentage of Autobots being signed up versus Decepticons being signed up. It was a very simple thing, but it was really cool. I spent so many hours in that game free roaming and just destroying the environments and so much more. It was so much fun. By the time Transformers Revenge of the Fallen came out, was announced, I had already been so excited for the game. The graphical updates was out of this world amazing back then for the Transformers game. Even the website, like, it didn't have anything crazy like the first website, but Transformers Revenge of the Fallen slowly did start to open up in certain areas for certain specific characters that were in the game for Revenge of the Fallen, but it wasn't as immersive as the very first Bayverse movie game tie-in. But the second website was not too bad, but the multiplayer just set the tone. As soon as they released that trailer, it just set the tone. Especially after another movie tie-in, while the story was so mission-based, the replayability afterwards still hit it off for years to come. The multiplayer just set the tone from the beginning, and of course, it was the very first multiplayer Transformers game, really, that we ever had. I mean, I don't know if mobile games were back then, but the multiplayer was the best part for Autobots versus Decepticons. Let's talk about the story. Towards the end of the lifespan of Revenge of the Fallen, that's when we received Transformers War for Cybertron. High Moon Studios stepped it up and set the bar for every single Transformers game beyond any other. It was amazing. And so many fans got so hyped. I can't remember where exactly it got officially announced. It's been so long. I think it was like a Gamescom or something like that. But Transformers games were higher than ever before, and its multiplayer once again rose way beyond what we expected. While it played a lot like the Call of Duty games, many fans were so in favor of that, and it was just so amazing to see. The story played out beautifully for both Transformers fans and non-Transformers fans alike. On top of that, we could play escalations similar to Call of Duty's zombies. Waves after waves just coming at us from no turn, and there was no limit to the waves, which was amazing. We could just try and see, like Call of Duty, how many waves we could go for hours and hours on end to try and see if we could survive. And classic PvP multiplayer with the various game modes. To this day, even with the server revival, Transformers fans enjoy jumping in from time to time and playing these classic Transformers games. However, even with the server revival, these games are old and still becoming a relic of the past. Not just because of the new games that are coming out. Transformers fans want something new, not outdated. While Transformers War for Cybertron made it on Unreal Engine 3, we had a massive improvement design on story with the switch to Unreal Engine 4 with Transformers Fall of Cybertron. the absolute amazing story-like cinematic trailers that just set the tone once again, just bringing our hype levels higher and higher. High Moon just kept on building and building and building, and they just did not stop. For many fans of the series, this was the very start to their journey, but the last good Transformers game to ever exist for consoles and PC. With, of course, the naming of Transformers Devastation, that was also a great game as well. But most fans consider Transformers Fall of Cybertron to be one of the best games that they knew and loved. Transformers Fall of Cybertron updated the graphics and removed a lot of the glitches from the past iteration of the series. While the game allowed players to create their own custom Transformers character more in depth, it also limited itself to a degree though. Some game modes and escalation waves were some to name. While there are various other Transformers games to have shown up over the 2014 Fall of Cybertron game, many of those games didn't even surpass Transformers Revenge of the Fallen in game design or media tie-in, namely Rise of the Darkspark for more or less. But of course, like I said before, Devastation was a great addition, right up there, close to maybe in between Revenge of the Fallen, War of Cybertron, and Fall of Cybertron. However fans really want to talk about that game, it was still a great game. However, this did leave many Transformers gaming community fans dispersed and wanting more for a triple-A experience. Many games since then have surpassed the graphics and amazing storytelling that is in various newer games these days, and we just did not get that with Activision and other developers that passed after High Moon Studios. It wasn't until the start of 2017 and the 2022 Game Awards that we would reignite the spark for Transformers fans. Transformers Reactivate was announced officially by Splash Damage, Bulkhead Studios, and Hasbro. So far, all we know officially is that this game is intended to be a 4-player co-op PvE game with no mention of PvP involved yet. Splash Damage is used to making these PvP games, so it's a little bit of a surprise to me that Splash Damage isn't creating a game mode or has plans to make a game mode for Autobots versus Decepticons. Even if it is a 2v2, many fans are still wondering, why doesn't this game have a classic Autobots versus Decepticons game mode introduced? Here's kind of my thoughts. While I would love to see a PvP game mode introduce itself like the previous games, I think that they should 100% be focused on a PvE experience before they decide to make a PvP experience. Now, if you don't know what that means, player versus enemy, PvE, and then you have your PvP, which is player versus player. That's what that stands for those that do not know. But those are very old naming conventions that I would usually see in an MMO perspective or MOBA or whatever. But in those games, that's usually where you'd see those terminologies. And the reason why we're stating it here is because, of course, PvE, player versus enemy, AI, whatever you want to call it, in the games with PvE, it would be better for Splash Damage to focus purely on making the story great, making that enemy AI great. And that is what we need for a Transformers game. Make a story game offline, if you will, but make it great. That's one of the other things that I would love to be able to see is allowing us, even after the servers pass on, for us to be able to play this game offline. We know one day it's going to be a curse to us when this game decides to go offline, or if this game does not succeed or do well, then the possibility of the servers shutting down in like a year or so, like we saw Gundam Evolution, for example. While that game was not greatly marketed, it would suck if this game, for Transformers fans waiting many, many years to see a game just crash and die. And that's what we do not want to see as Transformers fans. It's a very real scare for us as Transformers fans, waiting so many years as it is already, to have the possibility of a game potentially flopping because it wasn't marketed properly, it didn't have good communication, it did not have various elements that make a game great. And I feel like that is something that Splash Damage really needs to focus on. Now, I'm not saying Splash Damage can't do this or they're bad at it or any of that, but after the past year or so, it's a little concerning to Transformers fans, as of lately over the past year, of not hearing anything from Splash Damage. However, from what we've heard through the rumors is that Splash Damage is like this. This is their personality. They don't exactly communicate when they're developing a game. So hopefully by the time the game actually officially launches, that communication will be much higher. As we release patches, there's patch notes potentially if they do that, and various other avenues that allow them to communicate with us as NDA gets lifted. So hopefully that's, fingers crossed, that's what's going to happen. However, moving over to the PvP side of things, that is where I think where they could succeed once again, is once they make the game great, then they can move on to PvP and start to make an actual PvP game mode. Maybe do it like Destiny, where they focus on the story and then eventually break it open so that they have PvP. Final Fantasy XIV did the same thing, at least from what I recall. At first, they did not have PvP, but then they introduced PvP down the road. Even though it still sucks to some degree, they slowly over time developed their PvP to be better and better. So it makes me wonder, are they going to focus on story first, making that great, and then move on to the PvP aspect once they make an actual PvP game mode for fans to be able to play Autobots versus Decepticons with whatever build they decide to do. And if they do PvP, I would love for them to do like a gear sync, not like, oh, somebody's overpowered because their gear is so much higher level, their characters are higher level, their weapons are higher level, they have better gear stats in their weapons and that sort of thing, or PvP. And then somebody that's a complete newbie gets paired up with somebody that's such a higher level. I think that would be a royal mistake if they decided to do something like that. So that's why I think syncing gear or having gear specific for PvP where everybody is synced to the same level, to the same gear stats and everything, so that everything is safe and everything is fair and it's all purely up to skill. That's where I think everything should succeed with a PvP game mode. And that's just my personal opinion and over my experience of seeing PvP game modes implemented after a story game has come out. But that's just my thoughts, just openly. And of course, throughout this video, I also wanted to showcase Starscream renders. So yes, of course, throughout this video, I would love to be able to share Starscream renders to you guys. And I just cannot wait to talk more about Transformers Reactivate as we get to the Game Awards. And what I think is going to happen at the Game Awards is the fact that at the Game Awards, I think we're going to get another, well, a story trailer, a real story trailer. I think that would be an important thing to really hit home, is what this game is all about. Most of us, through leaks and various other things, we've seen various certain aspects to the game. We kind of know what a general idea of what's going to happen. Alien invasion, Legion comes, we get that. But we still don't know who the main villains really are, even though, of course, there's been leaks, but we don't know if that has changed, right? We don't know if things have changed since those leaks from one developer to another. So everybody's wondering, and then there's a lot of people who are still not fully invested with this game because they don't know what this game is exactly about just yet. They've seen leaks, or they haven't, and they just know there was an announcement trailer. That's it. So there's where we gotta really hit home, and I think that's where Splash Damage really would shine, personally. Now, I'm kind of going off script for the longest time here, but I'm just trying to say to you guys is I really think this would be cool. I'm just openly talking here with each and every one of you guys, and I think it would be really cool to really see Splash Damage hit home. What is this game about? Story trailer at the Game Awards. Bam. There you go. And then you introduce, or maybe even with that story trailer, at the end of the story trailer, throw a nice little teaser of a closed beta release date. When is the closed beta coming out? Personally, I do not think the closed beta is going to come out this year because it's close to the end of December, and I don't think anyone's going to get enough notification to say, oh wow, the closed beta test, it's this year still. That's surprising because their website still says December 2023. So I think that the closed beta test is very much going to be in 2024, and I do not think it is going to be any time during 2023. So I think it's off the board at this table, and I think that that's what they're going to be going for. But besides that, guys, I'm super excited. After playing the game myself, I'm super excited. The gameplay is a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. But besides that, I can't say too much. Maybe I'll throw a little teaser here. So, before I go.
Nothing stops Starscream. Any other choice would be inferior. If I have to fight for my life, I wish it could be on a less dismal planet.
I'm going to let you guys in on a little bit of a secret that I've been holding for a little bit of time now. And that is that Powerglide is officially in Transformers Reactivate. Yes, Powerglide is in Transformers Reactivate. If you've seen TF Hype Guy's tweets, if you've seen some of the hints that I've been throwing to you guys, and maybe some other content creators that I've been talking to, I've been planting hints throughout various different content creators and allowing them to be able to talk with you guys and throw hints at you guys. Through various different content creators, I've been throwing little hints, jabs here and there, and allowing them to be able to hint towards things that I've been keeping secret from you guys for a little bit of time now. But I would like to officially announce that yes, Powerglide is going to be making his debut in Transformers Reactivate. So that means that yes, G1 characters are going to see a lot more motion here, of course, but there is also another hint that I'd like to also throw out there for you guys, and that is that yes, Transformers Prime characters are in Transformers Reactivate. So that's another one. I'm not going to hint at who, but I'm still going to keep that a secret for now. All I've got to say is he likes style. And if that's not a big enough hint for you guys, oh baby. And I got to say that he loves style. And he's a cocky one, all right. He's a cocky one. But let's just say that he looks great. And I won't show him off to you guys, and I won't show off Powerglide to you guys either just yet, but maybe very soon. I would love for Splash Damage to show those kind of things off first before I actually decide to show off the renders for them, or even the game models. But yeah, that's one of those things that I would love for you guys to be able to see down the road. But I wanted to leave that little tidbit of information with you guys, leaving some heavy hints there, and I'm sure you guys can figure out the rest. But besides that, guys, if you want the latest up-to-date news, talks, gameplays, guides, you name it, you know where to keep it locked in with RoboGamer1 HD. And I would love for you guys to comment in the comment section down below. If you haven't seen already on screen, I probably threw it up, if not already, or on screen right now maybe, is that I'm doing shoutouts. So if you guys want to get a shout out in the comment section, comment your thoughts in the comment section down below. We've seen some slight animation gameplay, but I'm not going to show off gameplay just yet, just because I would love for Splash Damage to be able to show that off first themselves. Besides that, guys, hope you all enjoyed. I really enjoyed making this video, and I hope you guys did as well. If you haven't already, please smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, because you know we got a lot of Transformers Reactivate gameplay, guys, news, and so much more right here on my channel. Of course, ring that notification bell, and you won't miss a thing, guys. Promise you, you won't miss a thing. So lots of hype. Game Awards are coming very, very soon. You won't want to miss that. Got a live stream planned for December 7th at I think it's like sometime in the afternoon. But be sure to check out my live stream. It is linked on the live streams tab, and it will be linked in the description down below as well. So be sure to click that link, and you guys will know when the time is for you locally, and you'll be able to go on from there. But until then, guys, thank you. I really enjoyed making this video. It's more like a podcast style of talking, of just openly talking with you guys, but I wanted to go off script, wanted to have some fun, and just be a Transformers fan with each and every one of you guys. All right, thank you so much for watching. Really enjoyed this. Look forward to seeing you each and every one of you guys in the next video. All right, peace.